Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. So today, I don't know, we've got, just some random stuff to do, I guess. Probably we'll be doing maybe some new cards. I definitely have to finish the Warhorse for sure. The Warhorse doesn't have any abilities. Yesterday, oh my gosh, excuse me. Yesterday on stream, we were working on ways to improve the grid indicator for how cards can query other cards. I think I have an okay solution for that, but we'll have to see how it works in practice. We might have to edit that a little bit, modify it slightly, but that's all right. In any case, before I get into it, Alchemortis is available for wish listing right now, and also we are in the public playtest period. So if you have not yet played Alchemortis and you'd like to, all you need to do is head over to the Steam page and click this join the playtest button. This says request access, but the way it works is that you will get immediate access. There's no waiting period. So as soon as you click this button, you'll basically be let in and you'll be able to playtest, and then hop over to the Discord to leave me your feedback if you want. All of those things are linked in the description below. You can also support me on Patreon. There's a number of good perks for the paid Patreon tiers. The top tier will give you your name in the Alchemortis in-game credits when the game launches, so that's something that you can consider. And then also I've got my Udemy courses available for sale, so all those ways are great ways to support me as I try to get Alchemortis done. I'm feeling pretty confident that based on the income that I have now and based on all your support, that I should be able to at least support myself until Alchemortis releases on Steam as a paid game. And what I do from that point onward is going to depend entirely on the success of Alchemortis. But at least for now, I have enough runway to make sure that I can finish that game and we can evaluate what happens after that. So that's great, but more support is always welcome and appreciated. And of course, you don't have to financially support. You can like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Join the Discord, it's free. All that is helpful as well. Alrighty, let's say hello to everybody. Hello, RN Genesis, welcome back. Good to see you. Ben, welcome, welcome. Blue Bulb, good to see you again. I'm doing well. How's everyone doing? Define Dottie, good to see you. I'm alive for cinema. Welcome back. Meep and V, hello, hello. Hello, Sam Studio. Welcome back. Great to see you as always. Having the worst time right now dealing with CSS. Ooh, yep. This is why there have been 40,000 different CSS frameworks developed. CSS is not fun. Are you doing raw CSS or are you using a framework like Tailwind? Hello, Snupbill. Thank you so much for the IDR 10,000. Welcome back. Always good to see you. Always good to see you. We got the yummers here. Look at that. We love the yummers. 4.5 has solved the shader issue. We no longer have to precompile behind a loading screen. That is the claim. And as far as what I could tell, it's doing the exact same thing as what you would do from a hacky perspective. Like for Gunforge, the way I solved it is I just scanned all of my scenes in the game for shader materials and made sure to attach those materials to some nodes behind a loading screen so that they would compile. Based on what the blog post says or the release notes say, that shader baker does the same thing. It will scan your project for any shader resources and compile those for the target renderer, I guess, like the Vulkan API or the OpenGL. I actually don't know how that works. Let's see. But anyway, there's a shader baker option here, which I've already turned on. I gave this a quick test. I turned these on and then did a build of the game just to see. And, you know, unfortunately, I can't really tell, but I think it works. This option is only supported when using the forward. Okay, so it's only supported for forward plus. So I think it's going to still be a problem if you have compatibility. So the shader baker is not going to work for compatibility mode. So I may ultimately still need to do some kind of shader compilation if people choose to play Alchemortis with the OpenGL renderer, because I do support that as a launch option in Steam for compatibility reasons. So we'll see. Or I could just say, hey, if you're not on Vulkan, you're going to have to deal with some shader stutters, you know. which is not that big of a deal in Alchemortis because it's not a real-time game, so it's not like encountering a hitch in the game is going to harm your ability to play the game necessarily. So anyway, hello Emerson. Has so many cool stuff: stencil shader, shader baker, paste unique, foldable control node. Yeah, vessels unite. Hello Mark, welcome. Stencil shader is something I'd like to learn more about. Yeah, I don't know anything about 3D shaders, so I kind of skipped over that, but it looks cool. It can be used, yeah, for an X-ray effect. Yep. Hello, Jerome. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Hello, Yusuf. What features do you think to develop today? I'm thinking about just doing mostly cards, maybe content stuff. My English is not good. Sorry, I'm French. That's okay. Yeah, your English was perfectly understandable to me. I love the fresh smell of a new Godot version. I know, it's got that new Godot smell. Cave Golem, card idea. Yeah, I have a Golems written down for sure. Okay, so let me show you what I've done. So, like I said yesterday, I continued on with the little indicators here. I don't know if these are going to need to change, but I've got this working now. So if I look at the Alembic, it shows me what the query pattern is here with this little icon. So this is, you know, these orange squares are a representation of the card shape, and then the arrows indicate that it queries, you know, this column and this row. And this is also more apparent. Oh, there's a tier 3 alchemy. How convenient here. This is also apparent when you do this and hover over it. It will highlight the grid cells that it affects. So hopefully those two pieces of information together are going to be useful enough. And then we've got this here. So it shows, and this is on a per ability basis, because somebody had a good point yesterday, which is that you could have multiple different abilities that have different query patterns. And so it shows the query pattern here for each ability, if there is a queryable. Some abilities, like the skeleton's damage, don't have a query component, so there's just no icon that's going to be shown. My neighbors have the audacity to talk outside while I have my windows open. Can you believe them? Anyway, skeleton warrior. So let's see. Yeah, so the skeleton warrior here, so there's no icon here because there's no query portion to this ability. So yeah, I think that's looking okay. It's not, I'm not entirely satisfied with it, but you know, that's something that I can figure out later. I just wanted to get something in place because now the code is all in place, and where to put this or how this looks is largely just a matter of tweaking at this point. But whoever made the blog post for the changes clearly had fun coming up with the headings. Yeah, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. Good morning, Neozoid. I heard you like constraints, so I put constraints in your bones so you can move bones when bones move. Yeah. So small, hard to see for me. Might be my age. Well, you know, watching it on the stream versus having it on your computer monitor is a different thing. Hello, Jackie. Daytona, welcome back. Is 4.5 progress? Seems to be. Seems to be good. How dare they, yeah? Those are good ideas. I like those. Bone Dragon is definitely something that I want to do. I have to work up the courage to do that, though. Okay. So, yeah. So the whole reason why I did that querying stuff is the whole reason I did that querying stuff is because, hold on 1 second. 1 second here. Alrighty. So yeah, I need some abilities for the Warhorse. That's the next big thing. And I want to do something interesting now that I have that querying stuff. I want to do something interesting with the Warhorse. So let's brainstorm some interesting ideas for the Warhorse. So I'm thinking the Warhorse could target all cards to its left in the left columns. So maybe we can get that down just to start with. What kind of bonus should it get based on that though? Or maybe it should be the other way. Maybe it should be like a cavalry charge. So maybe if the Warhorse has items to the right of it, so the Warhorse is going to be facing the player. Well, yeah, so the Warhorse will be facing the player. So anything that's to the right of it, maybe we could project some kind of buff. Maybe we could project like shield or something. That might be cool. So let's do this. Var projects shield to right is equal to new composed ability. I'm gonna try to do this from memory. I actually don't remember exactly how to do this. So I'm not gonna look at anything else, but I need an ability factory here. Return a list of abilities, the scaling func, and the description. Okay. Return. Let's just get this all situated first. My C# formatter just goes wild with this. And then the description. What in the heck is even going on? Oh, there we go. Invalid expression? What? Oh. This is so confusing. I should maybe just return an object there instead of a tuple. That might actually be easier. Maybe I should do that. Anyway, so what I'm going to want is I'm going to want a var query provider. I don't actually remember. Let's see. Do I have the ability to fetch cards? Actually, don't remember. Let's see. Ability. Query target provider. I think that's what I want. Yeah, I think that's what I want. So let's do new query target provider. Query provider dot query options dot query directions is equal to board inventory component dot query directions dot right. Query provider dot query options dot cell selector is equal to card cell selectors dot rightmost cells. I think that's right. Yeah. Okay, so we've got that. Query provider dot query options. Should we just do card type filter? Let's do tag filters equal to card tag dot minion. I think that's right. Let's rename this to query target provider. So I think I need to do that. Now I got to figure out how to project. Oh wait, maybe I should have just done this. Ah, yeah, I already have an ability projector. Okay, oops, that's okay. We can just move this configuration. So projectability, composed ability. Let's do var projected shield is equal to ability builder dot shield. Let's just do something like 5, I suppose. We're going to do a projected shield, and then we're going to configure this. So query options here, and then we're going to pass, we're going to take all this here, get rid of that, kerblam that in there. Oops. Query options, query options. Okay. That should work. And then we've got this ability projector here. And we're also going to give it some damage. So we'll keep the damage here. And then project shield to right. Now we do need to scale this. So var scalar is equal to ability scalars dot make additive scalar. Let's do 2. Scaled magnitude equal to scalar. So let's do this. Const int base shield equals 5. Base shield. Base shield. And then we need to do those things, I think. Is that not working? Oh, I actually don't know how to scale this then. How do I scale? Oh, this is its own thing. So I probably need to provide a scalar in here. How did I break this? Goodness, okay. So we need to actually make the scalar in here. Ability scalars dot make additive scalar 2. So we actually don't need to provide this. So this in here, we actually don't need to do anything. So this is just going to be an empty. It's going to be an empty function, I think, because this is already going to scale. Or unless, I actually don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out. Unless I have to do this, projected shield dot scale for tier. I don't know if that's necessary, so we'll have to test that. But anyway, let's write the description now. Projects this would have to be projected shield dot get yeah, the problem is I don't have that magnitude there. Is there a way that I can get the... I may have to rewrite this. I'm still working on this new ability composition system, so there's a little bit of... a couple of rough spots, but... Wait a minute. Well, we're just going to see how that works first. And then, so we got to figure out what happens when the tier goes up. And also, yeah, I'm going to need to change this shield value here. This needs to be preserve. Okay. Anyway, let's see what that does. Planning to try the playtest tomorrow. Awesome. Great to hear that. They're releasing 4.5.1. Okay. I will update to that. Hello, Daniel. Welcome. I downloaded Godot 4.5 yesterday. I don't know why the process is being highlighted in yellow. Oh, is it because you're not using the delta argument? Having the ability to run my game in Mac Godot editor with 4.5 feels so good. Yeah. Alchemortis on Vision Pro confirmed. Would that be fun? Would a VR Alchemortis be fun? I could almost see it like being horizontal, like it's a game board instead of like with the VR goggles on. So you could just like project it onto a surface or something. I don't know if that works, but can't wait to be flailing my arms around trying to drag cards into the cell board. Yeah, that could be kind of fun though, if you could just like reach out and grab a card physically and place it somewhere. Maybe if Alchemortis is very much successful, then we can do that. Okay, it didn't like that. Why didn't it like that? Oh, does it not? Oh, I need to do minion cards. Anyway. Yeah, so there's our indicator. Unfortunately, we can't really see it that well, so let's do this. I want to see what happens when I upgrade it. Go. Deal 22 damage. Yeah, so this 5 preserve, that needs to change. So now I'm wondering... I mean, there's a way to do this which is relatively hacky, which is that I can do this. Goes projected shield dot get. That would be relatively hacky. I mean, I could do that, and then this internal shield, I would just do internal shield dot get magnitude, or maybe get base magnitude. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be the right way to do it. But we've got 15 damage, projects, 5 preserved to minion cards to the right. So that works, and let's see if I upgrade it here. More ideas for cards? Yes, I have a bunch. Phantom Knight, Bone Wolf, Spider, Death Caller, Idol, maybe T-shaped, Soul Eater. And Idol is a cool one. Soul Eater and Hollow Warrior. Yeah, those are all cool. I like those. I like the Idol specifically. And obviously, you got to do the Bone Dragon, unless do I already have that written down? No. Okay, so let's see if this works. And no, it does not work. What in the heck? Oh, because now I probably need to do this. Projected shield dot scale for tier. So it's a little wonky. What about a Grim Reaper card? Maybe? I don't know, you know, the player's kind of like already fits that. Being the Necromancer and all, you know? We're just gonna sit here and wait until I can get a... Oh, that was an upgrade. No, I skipped it. Okay, well, there's an upgrade here, so we'll just go there. Okay, so now it's upgrading that. Cool. All right, so, you know, it's a little bit wonky, but I think that's okay. Yeah, I think that works. So that's my new ability composition framework, basically. I think I do want to change this, though. This ability factory here. I think I would rather make this a class instead of a delegate. So I would almost, let's see. Let me just stage what I've got. I'm going to change this. Let's move this down. Public class, ability factory. Oh, well, it does need to be an invocable function. No, wait. Yeah, this needs to return, this needs to be a func ability. I guess it's not really an ability factory anymore, but I will rename that in a second. So let's do abilities, public scaling func, description func. Then we're going to do get init. I'm going to mark all of these with required. Oh, goodness. This should actually be ability configuration, maybe. And then in composed ability, we want to do this func ability configuration, like so. Okay, and then ability config is equal to ability factory. Okay, I think that's a little bit cleaner, but now I have to change all these. I think it's a little bit cleaner though, because now I can see like English language, like these are the abilities, this is the scaling function, this is the description function, so on and so forth. And the AI is going to help me refactor all this. That's very nice. Cool. There we go. Just gotta refactor, that's all. Okay, so this one looks good now. return new ability builder dot ability configuration. There's going to be a lot more broken as well. Crazy syntax in the return lambdas. Yeah, so the way that this is working essentially is, so one of the core needs of this ability system is that it needs to be duplicatable. And because I'm moving to more of like this really basic composed ability, which is basically an ability configuration, what I'm doing in the constructor is I'm passing in a function that can be invoked to create all of the abilities that are part of this composed ability. And so that way, when I call duplicate, all that happens is it passes along that ability factory. But when the ability factory is invoked, it creates new references that are configured exactly the same. So this allows me to have abilities that are really complex, that have like, 6, for example, base abilities all wrapped up in it. And duplicating it is just a matter of re-invoking that ability factory to create the configuration again, right? So duplication becomes very, very easy. In my old system, when I was composing abilities by actually writing out a class for them, I would have to override this duplicate internal and then make sure to pass in all of the original arguments. And these arguments are all different, like some abilities will have different arguments. And so it just ended up being a lot of extra work. So if I can just define the abilities in the card classes themselves using this style, I basically don't need to worry about making sure the duplication is happening with the exact arguments and everything, because everything is scoped inside of this factory block here. And so that just means that every time I invoke this function here, it creates that configuration brand new for me. So it's nicer in a lot of ways. And I'm moving away from creating separate classes for each of the composed abilities, because originally the plan was that these were going to be reusable and I could just build up a library of composed abilities and just slap them onto every card. But I've got something like 60 plus cards in the game right now, and I'm basically not reusing the vast majority of base composed abilities. All the abilities end up being different enough that I'd either have to introduce a ton of conditionality into the individual classes or write new scripts for them. And so I decided, well, I'll just make it so that I just compose the abilities sort of like in the class here. And anything that I reuse, I will put inside the ability builder. So like this ability builder.shield here, that is just a bog standard, like this creates a shield composed ability for me. And then I can use that however I want. So anything that can be reused will just be put into the ability builder here, but for the most part, these things can't be reused because they're so different from each other. But now we have to change all this stuff. Soul Cage, Totem, Oracle of Elements and their variations. I mean the previous ideas. I gotcha. That yellow need underscore or dash line to each parameter. It's true that for the character body to do, there's no reason to use delta. Move and slide already handles it. Well, yeah, there's no reason to use delta for your movement. You may need to use delta for something else that needs to happen on a frame-by-frame basis. But yeah, for the movement, the delta is handled internally. I'm using VS Code. I don't think Codium works with C#. Microsoft started enforcing their licensing, which is that the C# extensions cannot be used except in the Microsoft version of VS Code. Do you still prefer to use composition over OOP? Well, it depends. I mean, I think when you're doing Godot, like, you're going to be using both, because the components that you build are going to be using object-oriented programming, but then you can compose your scene out of those components. So I don't think it's one over the other. It's just leveraging each one's strengths where necessary. Okay, is there more that we need to deal with? Hello, Asymmetrics, welcome back. I missed the yummers, but I will still yummers the yummers. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Johan. Hello, Arion. Thought that Godot 4.5 would have a web build for C#. No, I don't think that's coming anytime soon, honestly. The last time they said anything about it was that they had an experimental build working, but the thing about experimental is that it's definitionally not suitable for production. So I doubt that that's coming anytime soon. What is that theme? I want to use it. I'm sick of my GitHub theme. In VS Code, it's Dracula. I'm using Codium. It's working great for C#. Oh, is it? Okay. Do you have to? Are you using the Microsoft C# extensions, or are you using like a third-party extension? TTG. What does that mean? Am I? Oh no, I don't know what that means. Microsoft. Interesting. Okay. Close to finishing my first horror game. Will you be able to try it? Will be 10 minutes. No, just as a general rule, I don't typically try viewer games just because I'm like, you know, I'm busy. I have other stuff to do, but thank you for asking. Okay. But congratulations on the release, though. And you're free to mention the name of the game in the chat if you want to ask other people to check it out. So if you want to share the name of the game. 25 pull-ups. Nice. So you fixed chat delay. I didn't do anything. I think it was just a bug or a temporary transient issue. So I actually don't know if this Warhorse works. I haven't yet tried the Warhorse yet. So now we need to do this. Let's do a skeleton warrior. Let's do another skeleton warrior. And then let's override the player board dimensions. Let's do, let's see, it's 3, right? So this needs to be 5 in the X, and we'll just do 2 in the Y. Love the projection icons. Will definitely lessen the mental load trying to parse what the heck is going on. Yeah. I think so. You're good, Zabraz. No worries. No worries. So this is working. So if I hover over this, it highlights those as valid minions. And it projects 5 preserve to minion cards to the right. So now let's enter a combat and see if that actually works. Probably going to destroy this thing though. Oh, that's a longbowman. So now this should have apply 5 preserve. Apply 5 preserve. Very cool. So now when these two guys go, oh, I might die. 10 preserve. There we go. Wow, that executioner sword. Holy moly. Also, that seems... I guess that works. Yeah, I guess that works. I'm gonna die here though, yeah. That was a tough board, man. The longbowman with the executioner sword. Holy moly. That was dealing 35 damage after it already did 13 preserve. Jeepers. But I think I'm confident in saying that this is working now. So add Warhorse ability. A lot of this stuff is going to need to be changed, but I think I just want to, I'm mostly just interested in getting the abilities onto the cards, and then their numbers and scaling can be tweaked later. All right. So I have a goal for this week to create 5 new enemy cards, and the Warhorse does not count as one. So I think it would be wise to create another enemy card. And I also need to do this. So let's see. Oh, I need the flavor text still for that. Okay. I need to do this as well. Implement minimum notoriety region for card loot tables. Also, there's one other thing that I want to do. Nope. I want to check this. Make sure that this is working with the horse. Yep, that works. The horse is going to be very deadly. It's got 8 turn cooldown, and it does a lot of damage. Cool. All right, we're getting there. Are you British? I am not British. Do I sound British? I'm American. This is offensive. How could you ask me if I'm British? How could you ask me if I'm British when my nation was founded fighting the Brits? I am very offended. Great work on the art for this really neat looking game. Thank you, Leaf Heber. Appreciate that. Thank you. I think you're really making a name for Godot. This is insane. Thank you. Proud you made this with Godot. I'm proud to be a representative of Godot. I love the Godot engine. I would consider myself a Godot evangelist. And yeah, I'm happy to just be, I guess, one of the people making or trying to make commercial games in the Godot engine. I hope I make the Godot community proud, but we'll see. Hello, Rin. Welcome back. VS Code is a Trello-like thing now? No, that was Obsidian. This is Obsidian. The note-taking app. Watching you makes me feel like a failure game dev. Well, it's just differences of experience, really. There's nothing stopping you from getting to my level of experience and then surpassing my level of experience other than time. So I don't think you should feel bad. Really, yeah. Really, you just need to look at your own trajectory and not really compare yourself to other people, except to learn. That's really the thing where comparing yourself to other people is useful, but yeah. Sorry, I was joking, yeah. Wise to do an enemy card. What about a wise care? Oh, do we have a village elder or sage or something like that? That is an interesting idea. Yeah, like a village elder. That's a good idea. Or a sage. Barkeep wench combo is my favorite. Yeah. Me blind. That's all right. So let's see. What do we want to do? What kind of card do we want to do? I did a Warhorse. Do I want to do a plain horse? Maybe. Foot soldier would be a good one. An actual shield, a crozier, a bar stool, anvil. Ballista would be cool. Mayor is done. Potato, Night Watch, enchanted suit of armor, quiver, pumpkin. Oh, like a messenger. A messenger, a herald. A standard. You know, like a banner. That might be a cool one, actually. So if I look this up, I believe it's called a standard. Oh my gosh, really? Google doesn't like the fact that I opened up a private window to search. Now it's like, are you a human? Yeah, so like this. The banners that they carry into battle. That would be a cool one. That would make a good 1x3 card. I might do that. I think that's a good one. Oh, maybe I'll call this a battle standard. All right, into A Sprite we go. Town Crier. Ooh, that's a good one. Are we still doing village stuff or moving on to the next? Yeah, all the above. Herald is the same thing, I think. Yeah, I think a herald would be more of the person, but the standard is like the thing that the herald would carry, I think, but standard bearer, yeah. Okay, so, but yeah, to answer your question, we're kind of like, we're trying to make cards for the tier 2 region, which is more military oriented. So the first region is just peasant villagers, you know, farmers, you know, barkeeps, certain members of the clergy like friar and all that stuff. But then when we go to the next region, this is going to be more of like a regular army. So there's going to be pikemen, war horses, siege weapons, that kind of thing. And then the third region will be like the high cultural stuff, like dukes and kings and princesses and bishops and paladins and all that kind of stuff. So let's create a battle standard. Alchemortis, assets, card, background, 1x3. Create a new folder in here. What in the heck? Alrighty. Oh, this might actually be relatively skinny, but I think that's okay. I'm kind of using like a red theme for all the stuff. For all like the villager factions, so oops. Okay, we'll see what we can do with this. I've been liking using, I use this little motif on the Warhorse, just these little crosses here. And we can just do stuff like some stripes. We'll see how it turns out. Well, I don't know. It's going to be a struggle. I'm just drawing random patterns now. Does it look better as blue? I think I need to stick with red because that's the color that I'm using basically everywhere. Just fill in some more of this blank space, I guess. Okay, let's see. We still have them in the military. Do you have Fletchers? I do not have Fletchers. That's a good one. Lurk over, gotta go home, have a good stream. All right, Night Raven Games, thanks for joining. We have stocks. Yeah, we have a prisoner that's in a stockade, yeah. They fixed the Wi-Fi in my town. Awesome. Welcome back, Clickertail. Add an internal border. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. How am I going to do that, though? It's going to muddy up some of the little cross shapes, but I think that's all right. Yeah, I think that probably looks better. I just need to move some of the cross shapes off of the border. And then up here, think that does look better. Yeah, I mean, I think, I kind of want to add some white in here, but I just don't think it's going to work that well. Unless I do it on the edges here. Let's see. Did somebody turn the town router off and then back on again? Yeah. I think it would benefit from being a little shorter and having the wooden pole coming out of the bottom. Yeah, probably. I reckon make the stripes much thicker and have a slightly bigger gap between them is probably how much of the red background there is, making it look a bit emptier. Let's see. Godot 4.5. Hello, Nuja. I had a question relative to 3D jittering, but I remember you mentioned you were making 2D game dev one of your videos. Should I ask? I don't know anything about 3D really, so especially 3D jittering, so I don't know. 1 pixel space. As idea guys in the chat, I must now get 60% royalties. Ideas guy is a well sought after important profession, you know, yeah. Okay, that's a good tip. Let's see. It's Obsidian. Well, I use physics interpolation on Unity camera movement was on late update, but Godot doesn't have an equivalent, so I had to do it. You can change the process priority of nodes, so I think you can use that to control when the camera updates. Okay, let's try something a little bit different here. Instead of trying to make the banner wavy. Let's just do that. Okay. Oops. Okay. Maybe I'll make the pole coming down like this. I don't know. I don't know if I really like this pole here. But I also don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off. If I do something like this. I mean, I guess I don't really need this portion here. Could eliminate that, move this up. I also don't know about this. How do we feel about that? Let's see. Did I experience any issues? No, not really, no. Yeah, I'm using 4.5. You can stop screaming at the monitor now. Let's see. Maybe have some of that darker purple at each step where it gets narrower, so it's show a fold kind of thing. If you want the pole coming from the side, it might look better squashing the banner horizontally a bit and moving it over to the right to make it look slightly turned. Yeah, I think I would have to do something like that, but I think it's okay now. I think it looks better. Looks good. Top part is a little weird. I wonder if I could just... get rid of that shape. Does it look better if I just remove that extra layer? Maybe a little wave if possible. I tried to do that in the other one. I just didn't really make it work. I'm not... That's yet another area of my pixel art skill I have not developed, is doing waves. But I can maybe fake it a little bit. No, that's not going to look good. Yeah, I don't know how to do wavy cloth in pixel art. Better, I like both. So let's see, that was the first one, that's the second one. The second one... I like the fact that the second one has more motion going on, but this one just looks cleaner. Haven't run into any limitations yet, but I think my case is perfectly threading the needle of what's possible in Godot. Oh, is that with respect to the 3D conversation there? That looks good. I think I'm going to stick with this. I think this is okay. Maybe I'll just bring that down a little bit. Yeah, I think this looks fine. It's not the best. It's certainly not, like, you wouldn't rank it among the best of the pixel arts in the game, but I think it does the job. Top part of the holder on the first one. Yeah. I should try to make a tanks game or something in Godot so humanoid animation isn't my roadblock. Tank games are fun. I've enjoyed tank games in the past. I remember that being a big theme in like the Flash era. There was all kinds of like tank games and whatnot. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we're going to figure out an ability for the battle standard. So if anyone has any ideas of what the battle standard could do as an ability, I'm all ears. So I'll think on it too while I'm on my quick 3-minute break. So we'll implement that when I get back, and then if we have time, we'll start working on another card as well. So be right back in just 3 minutes, and we'll continue on. All right, I'm back. Are you doing manual black borders on enemy cards too, just in case you do background effect in the future? Yeah, even if the enemy cards don't have an effect themselves, I do want to enable the player to acquire enemy cards in some way. So if that's the case, then yeah, the player will be alchemizing enemy cards and those effects can take place. So better just to handle all the cards uniformly. And the other thing too is that, yeah, the only difference that separates really the enemy cards from the player cards is just that the player can't acquire the enemy cards, but functionally they're exactly the same. Like both the enemy and the player, the cards behave exactly the same way. And so that makes it really easy to give the player enemy cards, but it also makes it so that I need to make sure that all the cards behave and look and are done the same way. Give all cards +1 damage incentivizes more cards on the board. Yeah. I think that could work. I have a lot of ability projection stuff. I'm trying to come up with like more unique ideas. Obviously, it's quite fitting for a standard to do some kind of buff. But yeah, I don't know if it should do something a little bit more interesting. Reduces cooldown of adjacent cards. I'm thinking cooldown reduction would work. Can't wait to play with larger boards, I know, yeah. Really long turn timer, but all cards activate quicker. So that's the reduced cooldown idea. I could even do something like trigger, right? So like the banner, when it runs, could just trigger certain cards. That would be an interesting one. So when the banner executes, or the battle standard executes, yeah, it could just, similar to how the swarm works, it could just trigger certain cards. How to do that in a way that's not... Maybe what it could do is, I'm thinking like it could query cards to the left, but it triggers weapon cards that are to the left. Do you know what I mean? That might be an interesting one. So if it just triggered all the weapons, that'd be kind of cool. What do you think about that? Thank you. I have upgraded, yeah. Haste mechanic. I already have a haste mechanic. Yeah, it could do that. Projects preserve per minion. That could work. Buffs cards that deal damage by percentage. Yeah. Wave function collapse. No. Hello, Wooius. Let's get the card all configured and we'll figure out what exactly to do here. Is this a quick load button? Oh, quick load. I don't have to click twice now. Dimensions, this is 1/3, turn cooldown. We'll give it a relatively long cooldown. Is enemy, is flippable. This is I guess it's gonna have to be a ritual item. Critical chance, exclude from loot table, minimum notoriety, region 1. Okay. So there's our battle standard. Now we gotta create a script for it. I do think I want to do something like trigger a card early. So So there's a couple of different. So the way Swarm works is that when Swarm triggers another card, that card just goes, but it doesn't lose its turn cooldown. So it maintains its progress to its execution. So if you've got something that has 10 turns and it's 5 turns away from executing and it gets triggered by Swarm, it runs, it triggers its abilities, but it maintains its progress. So then 5 turns later, it goes again. So I'm thinking of doing something like that, where it's not Swarm exactly, but the battle standard can, when it goes, just trigger a bunch of cards that are to the left of it. I think that could be really interesting. How do we feel about that? What if it reduced cooldown of minions and increased damage of weapons? Maybe something extra if it's in the middle of the board. Yeah, we don't want to make it too powerful. D-Mox, hello, welcome, welcome. I keep hearing that Godot has annoying limitations for 3D, which makes me even more determined to do it anyway. Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to tell the Road to Vostok dev that Godot has 3D limitations, because apparently he's not listening. What about ritual item that can act as a minion? I don't think that really makes sense, because the tags are just like data. They're just data about what kind of card it is for the purpose of other cards affecting it. So there's not really a sense in which a card can act like a minion. Cards are cards, and they just have different data configured for them. I'm planning to record a gameplay video of your game for my channel. I could really use the Alchemortis logo font for the thumbnail and high resolution. Could you provide a PNG of it somehow? Are you in the Discord, Wooius? If you want, you can ask me in the Discord and I can upload the files, but I'm not going to remember. Or you can email me too. I just got here. You're already using Godot 4.5? Yes. And for the player character, maybe offer a press kit. Yeah, I haven't really gotten to the point where I'm ready for press coverage. I mean, you can make a video if you want. That's totally fine. But I haven't like put together a press kit and all that stuff, because I don't really want, especially like bigger outlets, to like start covering the games, because it's just a play test. It's like, I don't really want to just like show the entire world like, hey, this is the game so far. You know, I just kind of want to keep it inside the community right for now, and then do a bigger marketing push when the game is more developed. Triggers minions that have a weapon adjacent to it, like a conditional swarm. Oh, I don't know how that would work with my wave function collapse, because then there's 2 conditions there, which is interesting. A parry mechanic is interesting. Right, you on Discord then? Okay, sounds good. So battle standard, what we want to do is, let's do this. You know, one thing I could do is I could have it project swarm onto... I wonder if I should just do that. That might actually be interesting, because I already have the swarm capability. So what I could do is I could just do this. Ability builder. I probably want to move this simple swarm out. I think that's basically it. So ability builder dot swarm project to weapons, query directions left. Can I just do that? Project swarm. That might be interesting. I mean, that's basically going to accomplish what I thought. So it's going to put swarm on all of the weapons that are to the left of it. And then when one weapon goes, it's going to trigger the swarm on the other ones. That might actually be kind of cool. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I do need to... Do I need to do anything else? Does that just work? Let's see. Swarm projection is dangerously OP. I mean, I plan on nerfing Swarm also. Oh, it broke. Oh, this is not implemented. Union with get cells in row, true. And I think that my grid indicator is also not going to work here. Get query description. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. For each of our cell in affected cells dot left row cells. Row icon to duplicate flip H equals true, visible equals true. Is that right? I'm gonna need to move it over more. Oh, this should not have a background on them, but that's all right. Cell times indicator dimensions times 2. Let's see what that does. By the way, I find your game is crazily geared towards an aggro deck. Maybe need to develop some design that controlled decks can be useful. Yeah. Swarm to weapons only much more balanced. Yeah. Can't help but shudder at the idea of coming across the thing with an executioner sword attached to it while running minions. Oh, yeah. Alright, let's see. That did not work at all. I wonder if it's even querying correctly. Let's see. We'll just make it 5x5 board. Okay, so that queries correctly, so it's just this visual that's wrong. Oh, I need to... Wait a minute. This needs to be cell... I think that's what I need to do. Let's see. I think I just did my math wrong. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Oh, wait, is that too much now? I guess so. Okay, now it's correct. That little icon there. Projects to, that's not, oh, it's adjacent. That shouldn't be adjacent. Let's do this. Oh my gosh. We are going to change this. Var card tag filter string. Card tag filter string. And then var adjacent string is equal to query options adjacent string.empty. Hopefully that works. There could be an enemy card for a battle horn when blown. 2 player cards are temporarily paralyzed by their turn cooldown, divided by 2 round up. Yeah, that would work. Let's see. Or a trumpet, maybe? Horn or trumpet. A trumpet, I think, would fit more with the villager theme. Projects to weapon card swarm. So now if I do this and I put that there, so now it's detecting that, and if I put that there, that's detecting that. Let's see what happens. This has a relatively long turn cooldown too, so let's see. I can't tell. Hold on. I think that is working. So that has swarm, that has swarm. So I should see both of those go. Ceremonial dagger and then axe, but the axe loses the swarm because the way that projected abilities work is that once the thing executes, it loses its projected abilities. So I think that makes sense. So I think that's working. Project settings. What am I doing? Board configuration editor. Hello, Artem. A witch burning at the stake that projects fire. Ooh, that would be like a villager card. Witch burning at stake. I think it maybe I would just make it a witch card. Yeah, but then burning at the stake. Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, let's see if we get any of the battle standard stuff. Look at that. So it's projecting against that one. So the battle standard should typically be placed further right on the board. This placement is useless. That's okay. Another useless placement. Although, is this a ritual? No, it's another useless placement. This one will work. That one doesn't do anything. That one will work. That one will work. So I think as I make these a little bit more complicated, these querying capabilities, I think what I'll have to do is bias the placement. So like this battle standard obviously needs to be placed not really on the left edge of the board. Oh, that's a weapon, huh? So I think what I'll want to do is like, I think right now, the way that it works is that every cell can possibly place every card, but I almost need to do like a pre-pass when the wave function collapse first starts. And I need to like filter out or reduce the possibility of something that can only affect cards to the left, for instance, from being placed on the left end of the board. This is not affecting anything. That works. That again doesn't affect anything. Yeah, putting Swarm on one weapon is not necessarily going to work. Now, these two would work together. So I probably need to make some changes to the algorithm to make that more effective. Because right now it's not really being placed in an effective manner. In most cases. Oh, we've got 2 battle standards. Wow. But really, the swarm is not going to work unless there's at least 2 weapons. Yeah, so I'm going to need to take a look at that, figure out how to handle that a little bit better. That's a good one. That's a good placement there. Okay, so I'll write a note that I need to modify my wave function collapse. So we need to do the flavor text, modify WFC to make placement more effective, sensible. I don't think my wave function collapse algorithm is smart enough to handle those kinds of odd queryings, which is going to benefit the Warhorse as well, I think. So yeah, I'm going to need to dive back into that algorithm and figure that out. Hello, cat. Have you awakened from your slumber? You were asleep for like 15 minutes, buddy. You sleep the least of any cat I've ever met. Hi. Hi. Can you purr into the mic? No? Okay. I just got kicked out of the stream by YouTube, no idea why. Uh-oh. YouTube's coming for you. YouTube's been doing a lot of weird stuff lately. I don't know what's up. Anyway. YouTube's been doing a lot of weird stuff lately. Who's a good boy? Well, I'm not going to work on the wave function collapse right now. I think it would be good to get started on another card. So let's figure out another enemy card to do. Pikeman would be kind of cool. He won't do purring for free in this economy, My cat is sleeping on me. Cats are the best. I love them. Right? I love them. Okay. Hi. Hi. Hello. Okay. What next? Let's see. We got a lot of good ideas. I'm just not feeling confident in my ability to draw some of these at the moment. A pikeman would be cool. I just don't know. I mean, I could simplify that to just be a pike. But I think a pike, well, we do need more weapon cards probably. Trying to think, if I just did a pike, could it be like a... Could it be an odd shape? Open file. Do I have any 3x1 enemy cards? Maybe I could just do a pike that's on its side. I don't know if I have any 3x1 enemy cards. Oh, the Executioner Sword is one of them. I think that's the only one, though. I wonder if I should just do that. So I'm thinking if I do something like this. Okay. Something like that, and then I would do like kind of like a little mini banner here. Stop licking me. Thank you. Something like that. What if I could do that little motif on here again? Maybe do a little bit of the, well, I don't have a whole lot of room here. Something like this. I don't know. think that probably looks all right. And then we'll just finish up some of the shading here, I suppose. Let's just do this. I don't know. How do you feel about that? I built a cat tree out of all my old unusable cables that are no longer supported. Typo takes out his cable chewing frustration on that, leaves everything else alone. There you go. Yeah. Stop what? Uh-oh. Is that a pipe? Okay. All right. V. All right. When he's not in the mood to walk on the keyboard when I'm working. Yeah. New card. Yes. 1-star Yelp review. Welcome back. A Monty Python fish slap. Oh, yeah. Gotta love Monty Python. Do we like it? Is it okay? I think it's readable as a pike, right? It's got the little motif here, a little banner. Oh, maybe I'll do that. Wait. Do I want to do this instead? Feel like... I think that's probably okay. This little section here is kind of bothering me. Maybe that's better. Although it does look a little bit... I think it's okay. Yeah, should be fine. Pike. Okay. Create new resource, card definition resource. What should the pike do? This is a 3x1. Turn cooldown. 7. Tags weapon. All right, what should the pike do? What should the pike do? I'm thinking doing something weird like this. If I do ability builder dot damage, I'm thinking about doing like a couple of damages. And the reason this is interesting is because there are some abilities that trigger based on how many times a certain ability happens. So I could either do just like 12 damage, or I could do 6 damage twice. And that just adds a little bit of variety because these count as separate abilities. And then I might do like a ability builder dot paralysis, which I don't have. What if it removed a projected ability from a random card? Yeah, that could work. Very long pikes were used to stop warhorses, so maybe it should nerf the horse damage. Well, the horse is not going to be a player card though, so... And I'm kind of hesitant to make cards only affect certain types of certain other cards by name, because then it just reduces the general applicability of the card. I think it's thematically appropriate to have it do something like that, but I'm thinking like, yeah, I don't know. What's my favorite feature in 4.5? Honestly, the paste as unique and the shader baker are the big ones. Like you can do paste as unique in here. So I do copy and then I can do paste as unique. So I don't have to do the make unique step. And the shader baker is probably the best one too. The best other one. Also the RC edit not being necessary anymore for Windows exports. And the reason why that's a big one is because I run my automated builds in a Ubuntu instance in GitHub Actions. And so in order to make RC edit work, which is only a Windows application, I needed a step in my workflow to configure wine on the runner, which is not available by default. And that added like several minutes to the runtime. So I was able to rip all of that out because I don't need wine anymore. And so my automated builds got several minutes faster, which is really nice. Not just nice in terms of iteration speed, but it's also nice because every minute you use of a runner counts against your quota for your plan. And so saving several minutes per run it just helps me preserve my quota as well. So I like that a lot. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Hello? What are you doing? What are you doing? Son of a bee, yeah. So I don't really feel like converting this simple paralysis over to an ability builder paralysis. So we're going to do some vibe coding. But first I'm going to stage my changes. Okay. Let's bring it up. We're going to do agent mode, Claude Sonnet 4. Take simple paralysis and move it into ability builder, following the pattern already established for the other abilities. Do not make any changes other than those necessary to accomplish this. We're gonna do some vibe coding. It's just blatantly ignoring my instructions. That's all right. We'll see if it does it correctly. All right, let's see if it did it correctly. Okay, seems to have worked. Seems to have worked. Okay, so simple paralysis is gone now, so now I can do this. Okay. You got to stage before you commit. Yep. You should really investigate LM Studio with Klein and some custom trained models. Oops, wrong account. That's all right. Yeah, I'm not like super big into the vibe coding stuff. Otherwise I would, but sometimes it can be very useful like that. Also, why is my pike not here? Hello? Oh, probably because there's no room for it. Can I just move this up then? Keep up the nice work. Thank you, Tig. Also, welcome, Nick. I don't know if I said welcome to you, but great to have you here. All right, here's the pike. Deals 6 damage, applies 5 turns of paralysis to 1 random enemy minion card. There's a pike there, barkeep. Okay, let's see. I'm not big into it either, just nice to have some tooling that requires less setup. Yeah, for sure, yeah. Let's see if this works. Bam! Alright, I think it's a decent card. I lost though, but that's okay. The card is functional, that's the most important part. Yeah, I think that's the most important part. Okay. Do you think it's safe to upgrade my projects to 4.5 and keep working on them, or should we wait for 4.5.1? I don't know. Did they say what the major issues are right now with 4.5? I think it just depends on if there are any major issues that are going to affect you. I have not had any problems with 4.5 yet, though, so I think it's totally fine for me. Okay. Add pike. And refactor paralysis. Probably should be separate commits, but oh well. Okay, that is going to be it for the stream today. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. Again, if you want to play Alchemortis, the public playtest is live right now. So give it a try if you're interested. The Steam page is linked in the description below. You'll see this Join Alchemortis playtest button. You can just click that and join it. And then you will find the link to the Discord in the description below as well. And that's where you can provide your feedback on whether you like or don't like Alchemortis and all the problems that you have with it. And I also have my Patreon, which you can subscribe to if you want to support the project financially. And the Patreon tiers will give you early access to any future playtests. So this current public playtest period is going to run until Monday, and then there will be no more playtests of Alchemortis for several weeks. And then when the next one launches, If you're a subscribed, paid Patreon member, you'll get early access to it. And also there are other perks too, like this top tier gives you unlimited access to all my course content, as well as your name in the in-game Alchemortis credits when the game launches. So if that's something that interests you, check that out as well. Very much appreciate that. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. Thank you for watching. Let me just see if there's any final comments here. Besides making games, what kind of games do you like to play? I mostly just enjoy competitive multiplayer games, but I do like the Souls games as well, and Baldur's Gate 3, those kinds of things. So a little bit of everything, but usually if I'm going to play games, it's going to be with friends, and then we do competitive multiplayer games, shooters, and I recently got back into League of Legends, so that too. I relapsed, unfortunately. But thank you, Rin. Thanks, everyone, for joining, and yeah, see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Bye-bye.